Hey, hope you're doing good. Today I'm out here with Chris from the YouTube channel Retired Working for You. So thank you so much, Chris, for coming out today. I'm really excited to have you on my channel.
Yeah, man, my pleasure. Happy to be here. I've seen your stuff. I like what you're doing, and it's always good to meet new people here. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So the first thing I wanted to ask you is, why did you decide to come out to Thailand?
In the first place to live, or just to come to Thailand for the first time ever?
Both. Let's say both. Yeah.
Well, but yeah, those are two different times. The first time ever was back in 1994. I had just finished university and had moved to South Korea, actually. Just got a one-way ticket looking for adventure, and kept hearing stories about this magical place called Thailand where all this crazy stuff happened. And so 2 months into that trip, I was 22 years old at the time, me and my buddy are like, well, we better get down to this Thailand place. And so we came down here. I fell in love with the place instantly, man. It was like just everything about it. We toured around a little bit, and so then kept coming back every year for 25 years. And just for vacation though. And always dreamed of one day living here. And so just a couple of years ago, year and a half ago, my wife and I were sitting around LA where we were living, and we're like, I think, like, let's do it now. Our daughter was only halfway through high school. And that was kind of what was preventing us. And then we just decided, you know what, like, before she finishes high school, let's give her the experience as well, show her a completely different part of the world. And so we on 2 months notice packed up and moved here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so how long have you been in Thailand now, like straight?
Yeah, just a year and a half. We came summer of 2019, so not even a year and a half, just getting on a year and a half.
Oh, okay. And your daughter's going to school here, or she finished school already?
Nope, she's in her final year of high school, so she finishes in May, and yeah, so she will have done 2 years of high school here.
Has she said anything like the differences between America schooling or Canada schooling and Thailand schooling?
It's harder here, actually, for the international kid. She's in the IB diploma program, and that's a pretty challenging program. So I think, and the difference this year is monumental, because back home, they're not even going to school still because of all the stuff going on. So here, it's a pretty normal school life again this year, which is great. But yeah, I think some of the big differences are it's harder. The IB program's pretty intense, and then they do cool stuff, like she got her advanced scuba certificate during her first year of school here. She did 2 one-week trips down to Koh Tao, and I'm like, man, school trip to Koh Tao, like, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Experience to have, and that's the exact type of thing that my wife and I were dreaming of when we thought, let's just move in the middle of high school, give her stuff like that, you know?
I feel. Let me ask you this, because this is a popular question that I get asked a lot, but I'm not really sure how to respond to it because I've never had to get one because I'm a Thai citizen. What are some options for visas out here in Thailand for foreigners?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of options, and the Thai visa process is kind of famous for being somewhat difficult to navigate. I mean, anything you can get. Actually just put a video out this morning on my channel that's like the top 10 Thai words to learn for travelers or beginners. But that school where I started filming the video, you can get an education visa if you sign up to study Thai at that school. When I studied there just 1 month, and I met so many people there that were there really for the visa. And so, and they were there for, you know, they were going to stay a year, and that school helps. So there's an education visa, which is what my daughter's on. There's a guardian visa of someone who's on an education visa. That's what my wife is on.
Okay.
There's work visas, which are, they have work visas and then work permits for a wide variety of things, and those can be navigated differently. There's the retirement visa, which you need to be an old guy like me to qualify for. This guy's not going to qualify for a retirement visa.
Maybe in another
anytime
30 years, right? I think minimum you have to be 55, right?
50.
Oh, 50.
Minimum 50, certain amount of money in the bank, but it's pretty manageable for people. I think retirement visa is a good option, and then there's the elusive and coveted Thai elite visa. Have you heard of this
That's really
one?
expensive, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's like a $500,000 baht, or they have different tiers. But when you show up, there's like you get your own.
Chauffeur.
You get your own private line at immigration. They whisk you through to your own chauffeur and stuff. So,
Yeah,
so that's how the elite visas work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, thanks for sharing that. And there's also the marriage visa too.
Oh yes.
But I would be very careful in trying to get married just to get the visa because
I'm already married. Haley's watching this, so Haley, don't worry here.
Cheers to Haley. So, how long have you been doing YouTube, and where do you see your channel going in the next year, 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah, so I mean, I've brand new at this whole YouTube thing. I've been doing it since May. I mean, the channel launched in April, but that was when I kind of registered for the channel, did a couple of webcam live broadcasts, and I was actually doing a thing that was, it wasn't supposed to be what I'm doing now. It was just a way for me to connect with some friends and family back home during this, lockdown, when the world was locked down. And then on the way back from Samui on May 12th of this year, so just less than 5 months ago, I made a video of the trip from Samui back to Bangkok, and it rekindled an old passion of mine, which is making videos like this, silly, kind of stupid videos that just are me running around experiencing something and trying to make it a bit funny and entertaining. So about 5 months ago, and didn't expect it to be where it is today by any means. Just thought I'd mess around and have some fun and post some videos so maybe some friends back home or something would get a kick out of it and see what I'm up to during the lockdown. And then suddenly a lot of people started watching them, so that was kind of cool. It really energized me, and it fueled me to just, the passion just keeps growing. And so that's how long I've been doing it. Where do I see the channel? I have no idea, man. I mean, that's up to everyone out there watching this, all of these people. It's a weird world, this whole, like, it's me, Julian, and all of them, right? Like, and it's just so cool that they interact, they comment, they get me out doing things. I do things that I went out one time hopped on a motorbike and drove to Kanchanaburi and slept 2 nights at an elephant farm.
Oh.
And I wouldn't have done that if I didn't have this channel, and if I didn't have people out there. That was because someone reached out and said, hey, this is a good idea, and I get that all the time, and it's awesome. It's getting to the point now where I can't do all of the suggested ideas, but there's great ideas there.
And it's tough too, because like no matter how long you stay in Thailand, you can never do everything. Like you can be doing something like 2-3 things a day, and you'll still never do everything.
Yeah, this place is
huge.
This place is huge, and it's so different when you go to different places. It has it all. It really does.
What are some of the nicest places you've gone to so far? Just to name a couple.
In Thailand.
Yeah.
I always love Railay Beach. Koh Samui's my home away from home, so that's a place that's near and dear because some of my best friends in the world live on Koh Samui. For pure beauty, I love Railay Beach, Krabi Province, and I'm looking forward next month. I'm going to go up north again. I haven't been up to Chiang Rai in 24 years.
Oh wow.
And I'm gonna go up and check that out again, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Did you go to the White Temple yet? Have you gone to that temple?
No.
I don't know the name of it, but if you look up Chiang Rai White Temple, it will pop. It's very cool.
Okay.
It's very cool. And then my favorite place that I've gone to so far in Thailand, if you get a chance, if you haven't gone there yet, you definitely should with your family. It's called Ot Pakarang.
Oh, and I've never even heard of it.
You have to go down to the Rayong province,
Uh-huh.
and then from Rayong you have to sit from the island or from the Rayong city, you got to go on a speedboat to the island. The island is called Gat Samet. And I kid you not, if you go to I have a video on my channel going there, Pakarang.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
It looks like almost like something that you don't even think is real.
Yeah.
Like when you go there, it's like.
Is it got like big cliffs, or what's the landscape?
Yeah, it's like I guess it would be considered kind of like a national park or something like that. And so when you go up there, there's like this pathway that you can overlook the entire ocean, and then there's these giant just rocks.
Yeah.
You know, and you can hear the waves crashing against it's not like a beach, it's more like rocks.
Rugged coastline.
Rugged coastline rocks. And there's like this area where there's like a swing with a tree. And if you sit there, you're gonna be like, wow, I can't even believe this is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely been my favorite place that I've gone to so far.
Oh, that sounds nice. I'll have to check that out. man.
Definitely check it out. And it's not too far. It's only about maybe 2-hour drive from Bangkok.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
cool.
And then maybe a 20-minute boat ride to the island.
Nice.
Yeah, Gat Samet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm curious, how long have you been living here?
Yeah, so I've been back and forth for pretty much my entire life, because I'm a U.S. citizen, but I'm also a Thai citizen.
Yeah.
So I was able to kind of go back and forth. And
And where in the U.S. when you're back? Where?
I usually stayed in Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I lived in Las Vegas for 23 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so basically my main base was in Las Vegas. And after graduation, I decided that I was kind of getting tired of Las Vegas from being there for 23 years. So I decided to just I sold my condo in Las Vegas. I sold all my belongings, and I literally just came to Thailand.
When was that?
That was about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I've been back and forth, so I wasn't straight in Thailand for 2 years.
Yeah.
I was in Thailand for about 6 months, and then I went back to America for like 4 months, and then I came back for 6 months, and it was kind of like not as
And
straight.
are you here now? I mean, forget about what's going on in the world, but just you personally, are you here indefinitely now?
Now I'm pretty much here full time. I'm gonna be here pretty much a long time, but I do have a plan to go visit my grandma in America because my grandma's still back there.
Is she in Vegas?
She's in Rhode Island.
Oh, Rhode Island.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go see her maybe in July of next year.
Nice.
Yeah, so that as long as everything opens up.
None of us know.
Yeah, none of us
know.
None of us
I was
really
supposed
know,
to be back visiting home in Canada this past July, and that didn't happen.
Oh.
But I'm touching wood at the place we're stuck, man. Like, this is the place to be.
It's pretty nice here. So what kind of tips do you have for new YouTubers who may have just started their channel or may have not even made a video yet? They're just curious about, getting into this industry.
That's a good question. Before I started my channel, I found myself thinking about it. I was getting bored in the lockdown and just thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And if you're in the category that Julian talked about of thinking about it and not starting it, the biggest advice I'd say is just do it. Just start the channel. And that's what I did. My channel didn't start with anything. If you go back to my first videos, my first 25 videos, you wouldn't recognize them. They're nothing like this channel. But what I learned was I thought about it for a month straight, and then I thought, well, I'm gonna wait until after this. I'm gonna wait until I have a better camera. I'm gonna wait until I can travel international. I'm gonna wait until I'm more confident I can go on camera and not be a damn fool. And then I just one day literally woke up and pressed record on my webcam on my laptop, and that was it. That was and what I realized was, until you do that, then you're always going to be in your head. You're always going to be but you can't second guess work that hasn't been done.
You're
so
right.
just start doing it, and then look to improve the next video, and then look to improve and keep doing it. And that's, to me, if I was to give myself advice, just knowing where my head was, I'd say just start doing it, and then take a look. There's tons of great resources out there, of channels that are dedicated solely to teaching you how to start a YouTube channel if that's what you want to do. And that's what I used to figure out how to do some of the basic stuff. And also some of the stuff is to how does it work? How do people search for videos? All of that sort of stuff.
Right.
So there's always lots of resources in the world you can learn. If it's video editing you need to learn, then go to the YouTube channels that do video editing. Right now, I've shot everything so far on nothing but a phone.
Yeah.
And I'm considering getting a camera. And so right now I'm just devouring all this stuff on the internet about how to shoot with a camera that I've never shot with, you know, and just it'll be a huge learning curve for me. So if stuff you don't know is preventing you from starting, then just start and make sure you put in the time to learn.
Yeah, I think Chris made a lot of good points there. And if I gave my opinion too, is I think you just need to start. So a lot of people, they get caught up in their own mind and their own thinking that like, oh, nobody's gonna want to watch me. But one thing that I thought was kind of strange is that some videos that you think not a lot of people will watch actually get like a lot of views, you know. And then some. Have you noticed this in your channel? Like some videos that don't take a lot of time get like a lot of views, and then some that you really put your heart and soul into get like no views.
It's insane. Like
yeah.
I did an experiment just last weekend to prove that to myself.
No.
Yeah, I worked on this one video and it took me a week straight of work. And it was awesome. I loved the video. And it was almost like documentary style. And then it was like, oh my God, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be huge, this is gonna be huge, watch this, it's gonna blow up. And I looked, oh, there's nobody cares about this. And so so the next day, I said to my wife, watch this, you wanna see how silly all this is, watch this. And so I walked out, and that was last weekend, where I went to buy a bag of chips. And I made a video that was like 2 minutes long of me saying, oh, I'm just I want to buy a bag of chips in the store there. Went home and posted it, and it blew up.
Oh, really?
And suddenly and I'm like, oh my God.
Like no editing or anything.
Nothing,
Yeah.
pretty much. And that was, you're nail on the head, man. Like I can't predict what's going to happen with this stuff. So, yeah.
And I want to ask you this too. Like, you do have a couple I would consider kind of viral videos on your channel. Have you noticed that is usually over the course of like a few months that it starts to go viral, or is it like pretty much right when you release it and it just kind of takes off?
No, neither of those took off upon release. There was one, and that was another example. The one where I went to the hospital. That's one of my top 2 videos,
right,
and that was one that I thought nobody would watch.
Yeah, and a lot of people were interested in that topic.
Yeah, and that didn't take off until a month after it was released.
Oh.
And then the other one I think is called the $10 Challenge. That
was a good video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one's been steady since it got released, and even to this day, it's still getting a couple of thousand views a day.
That's really good.
It just seems to have hit I don't know, a couple of sweet spots in the algorithm. Maybe it's searchable, and it's gotten to the point where it's pretty consistent.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, because I think a lot of people think that sometimes viral videos, like once you release it, it just takes off. But usually it takes time for the YouTube algorithm to kind of analyze your video. Then it starts pushing your videos more.
Yeah. Like I said, like the hospital one for me was that it came out of nowhere. It had been a month, so they always have, when you release it the first day, they're high, and then no matter what your level watermark is, and then it'll go down in the subsequent days. But then this one out of nowhere, like the hospital video is probably sitting at like 8,000 views a month in after I released it, and then suddenly it started getting like 20,000 views a day.
Yeah, that's
and
interesting.
I'm like, well, why people are watching that? And so I just didn't know why, or still don't really know why, but I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, that's always exciting. So, Chris, what have you noticed in the main differences between Canada cost of living and Thailand cost of living?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference that I've noticed in cost of living is that Bangkok has a lot you can do for very, very cheap. Bangkok can be very expensive. Thailand can be as expensive as you want it to be.
Right.
Like if you spend all your time in central Bangkok driving a foreign car, eating foreign food, flying down to Koh Samui, staying at a resort in Chaweng Beach, that's going to cost you the same as it would that lifestyle in Canada.
Oh, okay.
There's no difference. Your car is going to be more expensive. Some of the stuff will be more, some will be a bit less. But for me, the way I like to live here, and the most enjoyable way to live, you can go out and eat lunch for, $1.50 and have it be amazing. Just before we started this interview, I showed up a little hungry. There was a nice lady making these Chinese dumplings that were 30 baht, $1. That was breakfast. That was my breakfast. That doesn't exist in Canada. So you can live here for very cheap. Cost of living for apartments is way less. When we were looking around in Toronto and Los Angeles versus Bangkok, and we also shopped around. Before we moved to Bangkok, we looked at Singapore, South Korea, Bangkok as all options. And the cost of living was one of the main driving factors behind picking Bangkok. And now that we're here, yeah, you can live here. For me, the way I see it is, I can live here on half of what I live on in Canada, and I feel like my quality's the same, because I eat a lot of the local food and love it, and that's a big one.
Yeah, and I think if you are interested in the cost of living out in Thailand, definitely go check out Chris's $10 challenge video, because that video is very, very good to have people get an understanding of what certain things cost throughout the day.
Yeah.
And also, if some people want to keep their costs down, what is some advice for them that you would give?
Yeah, just try and live a little bit more local. Get away from where all of the tourists are and all of the kind of main area with all of the expats and foreigners, and go into where the locals are. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a video, and it's 3 apartments for $500 a month, and yeah, if I was looking for an apartment for $500 a month in Toronto or LA,
That'd be impossible,
man,
right?
what bridge am I living under? Come on, it just doesn't exist, right? And so just look around and live as much like a local as you can. It's more enjoyable that way anyway. You get more out of the experience. You meet better local people. You get immersed in Thailand that way, and it'll save you a ton of money.
And also, something that I want to add too is definitely learn how to use public transportation.
Oh yeah.
Because if you can learn how to use public transportation, like for example the Songtao, the truck taxi, those from here to the mall, it would cost only 7 baht.
Wow.
To go to the mall.
Really?
But
on one of the Songtails?
On one of the truck taxis.
Amazing.
But if you took a taxi, that exact same ride is close to 100 baht.
Oh wow.
So you could just see the differences in between if you know how to use the Songtao and the buses compared to if you take a taxi.
Yeah, agreed. And the river taxis too. I take that. It costs me 12 baht. And I get across all of Bangkok. Saves me money and no traffic.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very good to know. So, Chris, you were living in the Western world for a very long time. What cultural differences have you noticed when you came out to Thailand, and what should our viewers be aware of if they do come out to Thailand?
Yeah, for me, I tend to focus on the positive side of things. I try to, and when I think cultural differences, it's Thailand, it's Asia in general, in the West. One of the biggest things is safety. Safety in public places. I've been here a year and a half. I've walked in dark alleys in this city at all hours of the day or night in neighborhoods I know and neighborhoods I have no idea where I am. And I've never once felt fear for my own safety that, oh my God, someone's gonna mug me or do something. If I did that in LA or Toronto, or if you were a tourist going to LA or Toronto and decided to roam freely wherever you wanted all hours of the night, and not you would have to feel some fear.
Right.
There's that, and then that goes part and parcel with just the way they look at society. Is, to me, I think that the Thai people and Asians in general look at society as a whole. Like, they don't steal as much from each other. I could leave my phone. I could leave my phone down there on the other side of this coffee shop and go to the restroom for 5 minutes and I wouldn't be worried at all that someone's going to take it.
Right.
They have 7-Elevens that can leave a skid of supplies outside. People don't take these. This is just not how they think. So to me, that's a huge cultural difference.
Did you see the photos in the Philippines of the 7-Elevens?
No.
Have you seen that? Don't quote me on this, but I have seen photos of the pictures of the 7-Elevens. Almost every picture of the 7-Elevens that I saw has a guy with a shotgun in the front. So if you go to a 7-Eleven, and let us know in the comments below if you ever gone to the Philippines. Is that true, or is that only like in the minority? Yeah, because there was like
Put the Fanta down, sir.
Yeah, but I also agree with you with that. I feel very safe out in Thailand. I was living in Las Vegas for a long time, and you couldn't feel very safe going out at night like that. You know, out in the dark areas. You know, it was.
I bet.
Yeah, I definitely feel a lot safer in Thailand than I did in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice, and it's also a very welcoming place to foreigners. They're so used to having foreigners here because it's such a highly visited country. They're very comfortable, and they make me anyway, and I would suspect most foreigners, if you have an open mind, would feel comfortable. They welcome you right in, and that doesn't always happen back where I'm from with foreign tourists walking around the street. Oh, come eat with us, have this. Like, that's not happening in Toronto.
Yeah. So, Chris, this is probably one of the most popular questions that I get on my channel is what kind of tips do you have for retirees who are looking to retire long-term out here in Thailand?
Retirees looking, do it. That's the number one tip. What are you waiting for? Do it. Get over here. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. You know, and that's the other thing for me. I thought about it, dreamed about it. I'm sure there's lots of people out there. It's like a YouTube channel. You know, I thought about it. There's only one way to do things. You know, you only live once, and so do it. I think that you can do it. You can find so many different paths here in Thailand. Start with your budget. Everybody's got a different budget, but there's most likely a path for you in Thailand. And it's not as tricky a place to navigate as your imagination might tell you. So, you know, for those that are thinking of retiring here, they've probably already been here a bunch, and so you already know. It's just really, for me, it was all about, I guess, the fear of change and like, oh my God, what am I gonna, oh wow. And I had a daughter that was 16 years old who didn't like this news of moving to, but it's all about just making the decision, turning the chapter, pushing forward, making your way here. And look, if you don't like it, there's always a you know, well, there's usually a flight out. These days maybe not, but there's usually a flight out, and you if it doesn't work out for you, you can go. But give it a try. Start from your budget, work backwards, and then pick a place to an area you want to live, the types of things that you want to be doing, and carve your path.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said, and I think that's important that if you are thinking about wanting to move out to Thailand, you should just take the leap and do it. Because I think a lot of people, especially I've noticed this in the older population, they're very kind of hesitant to move to a totally different country. But if they do come out here, there's a huge expat community. It won't be like in my personal opinion, I don't think it's going to be lonely. Because you can definitely meet other people, maybe even from your own home country, that are living out here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a ton of expats here, and again, it depends. You want the big city life, you want the beach life, you want the mountain life. Like we were talking about earlier, Thailand has it all, and in every one of these places, there's pockets with heavy expats, and then if you want to get away from that, there's that. Like, there's so many different paths you could choose here.
Yeah. Hey, so Chris, thank you so much for coming out today. I really appreciate it. Is there any last words that you want to leave to our viewers?
No, I mean, I appreciate anyone out there who visits my channel, obviously. It's great to meet you. I've been watching your stuff, and you've been providing a ton of great information. So keep watching his stuff. There's lots of, especially if you're considering moving here. But yeah, no, I think this was a lot of fun. This is a neighborhood I haven't been to, and it was great to meet you, man. I really appreciate it.
It was nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
And I would appreciate anyone who's a viewer of my channel or who's viewing this video for the first time. Definitely go check out Chris's channel. It's Retired Working for You, and that will also be in the link in the description. And I want to thank you too for giving back to the Thai community too. I've seen some of your videos where you're trying to help out some local businesses and stuff like that. So that's really nice of you to do.
Yeah, thanks, man. Hopefully we can do more of it. Sky's the limit, man. The more people that watch, the more I'll be able to do that stuff. So
sounds good. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
All right, and before we let him go, I want to show you what it's like for me filming a video. Can you be an actor?
I can act for you.
We're gonna get him. I'm gonna film a video segment for my 25,000 subscriber celebration. It won't make sense here on this video, but if you flip over and watch my 25,000 subscriber, you're gonna see his Oscar caliber performance. Are you ready? This is how it works on Retired Working for You. All right, so. Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
So are you Jimmy Kimmel?
Oh, I'm Julian Glasser.
Julian Glasser?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I have to talk to my agent. Hello, yeah. No, it's not Jimmy Kimmel. This is strike one, Susan. Strike one, look it up. I'm so sorry about that. Let's continue. We'll do the interview anyway. I thought it was Jimmy Kimmel.